The if statement evaluates to a Boolean expression, and if it is true, the code associated with it is executed. Here's an example on your screen. Since the Boolean expression 37 less than 40 is true, the code indented under the if statement is executed. This indented code is called a code block. All the statements that are at the same distance to the right belong to that code block. A code block can contain one or more lines. The block of code ends when it is followed by a line that is less indented than the current code block. Also, code blocks can be nested. By convention, code blocks are indented 4 spaces, but this is not strictly enforced. Python allows you to use other levels of indentation. For example, using 2 spaces for indentation is the next most popular choice after 4 spaces. Be consistent. If you decide to use 2 spaces for indentation, then use 2 spaces throughout your entire Python program. However, I strongly recommend that you follow the conventions unless you have a good reason not to do so. Also, if you encounter this error on your screen, you have a problem with spacing. Let's get back to the if statement. Notice that the line containing the if statement always ends in a colon. Since age greater than or equal to 35 is false, the Python code indented underneath the if statement is not executed. The final print function will always execute because it is outside of the if statement. Notice that it's not indented, so it's not included in the if statement code block. The if statement can be paired with else. The code indented under else will execute when the if statement is false. You can think of the if-else statement meaning, if the statement is true, run the code underneath if, otherwise run the code underneath else. In this example on your screen, since age equals to 31 and 31 greater than or equal to 35 is false, the code block under else gets executed. The output is you are not old enough to be the president, as well as the final line which reads, "Have a nice day." You can evaluate multiple conditions using elif, which is short for else if. Like if and else, you need to end the line of the elif statement with a colon and indent the code to execute underneath it. In the example on your screen, the if statement, the if age greater than or equal to 35 is false, so that print statement is not executed. The next test is elif age greater than or equal to 30. That evaluates to true because 31 is greater than 30. Therefore, the code block underneath that statement is executed. There's only one line in that code block, and it's a print statement that says, "You are old enough to be a senator." After that block of code is executed, it goes to the end of the if statement and then continues on with the program. So then, print "Have a nice day" is executed. The code indented under the else portion did not get executed because we didn't make it to that point in the if statement. The code block under else will only execute if all of the preceding if and elif statements evaluate to false. Also, to be really clear here, the first if or elif statement to evaluate to true will execute, and any of the remaining elif or else blocks will not execute. Here is one final program to illustrate this concept. In this example, age is set to 99, and the if statement of age greater than or equal to 35 evaluates to true because 99 is greater than or equal to 35. And so the print statement, "You are old enough to be a representative, senator, or the president" will be printed. All the other code in the if statement will not execute. It will be skipped. The next command to execute is print "Have a nice day." Here is the output of that Python code.